Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Do y'all remember that show? That tells you how old I am. You know what show it is? If you know, put it down in the comments below. All right. So, welcome back to another podcast. This is the Real Conversations, Real Motivations podcast, where we dive deep into real conversations about real life and cherishing positive testimonies. I am your hostess with the mostest. Your host, Michelle Bradford, and I will be bringing you refreshing topics, providing practical motivation. And I hope that something in this podcast offers you a dose of positivity to help you to navigate life by bringing awareness to real life challenges. Whether you're looking for something to heal from past trauma, fixing a resolution or finding resolutions to a problem or issue, or simply just need a boost of encouragement, you are in the right place. So, as you are here, I want to ask you to do me a favor. It's free. So, the favor is free. If you could go over to my Real Conversation, Real Motivation podcast and subscribe, it is free. I am trying to build up that channel that will be one of the main platforms. Right now I'm on 4 different platforms. I would like to have other ones. You can only have 4 at a time, and so I'm trying to build up that platform. I don't know how many subscribers, but I would love for you to go over there and support me. I really would appreciate it. All right, so today, episode 17, is crazy because I was going to do a pre-recorded video on my phone. My laptop decided that it was not going to act right. It did not turn on and start acting right till 10 minutes before the podcast. It's already a crappy laptop. I don't like it. I've never liked it, but today it was extra special. And so I recorded it on my phone. I was just going to play it for y'all, and I wasn't going to, I was going to introduce myself and just play it. But you know what I decided? 10 minutes before, I said, you know what? I've never really had to do that before. I'm going to speak from my heart about this topic over again. I'm going to repeat it, and whatever comes out, this is being God led. Stuff happens for a reason. And instead of getting upset about it or frustrated or mad or have anxiety, sometimes going with the flow, you'll get to see the waves. You can see the with path you're going, turning left and right, and you can pay more attention to what's going on because emotions will distract you. So today I was like, you know what? Whatever happens, it happens. I'm just here. I'm so grateful that, I'm here. Yes, I waited to the last minute to get out the bed to do the podcast. Yes, I waited to the last minute to pre-record the video, but I just don't believe that it was meant for me to pre-record a video this week. So the topic for today is planting the seeds and watching it grow. We don't grow when things are easy. We grow when facing challenges. I love that. I love that. That is so absolutely true. It's not gonna always be easy, man. It's that you're gonna have the valleys, you're gonna have the mountains, you're gonna have so many terrains where it's ups and downs. Sometimes it's gonna be snowing and you're gonna have an earthquake, you're gonna have tornadoes, it's gonna be crazy. You might be in a boat going up and down feeling nauseous and dizzy, but let me just tell y'all, when you get to calm and tropical waters, where you could say, get in, the water is fine. You know why? Because you're feeling so good. You're feeling so fantastic. And you're going, you know what? What I just went through just now. And you're not looking back. You're just remembering. So you look back and you go, what I just went through just now, that was one of the most difficult things that I've ever been through in my life. And I came out on the other side stronger than ever, better than ever, with a different perspective and some growth and wisdom. I love that for me. I love that for you. I love that for us. You know why? Because I'm telling you, it is worth it. Hey, Kelly, how are you, sweetheart? Welcome. So it is so absolutely worth it when God, He just, He brings us out of circumstances. So I want to just kind of tell y'all some background of the pre-recorded video and where this topic came from. This topic came from me working on my little garden this morning and this afternoon. And as I was sitting there thinking, what am I going to talk about today? I have so many topics that I would love to discuss, but Lord, I'm being led. What do you want me to talk about? And so as I'm sitting there and I'm going, I'm planting these seeds, I'm like, planting the seeds. That's where this came from, planting the seeds. So I just want to give y'all a little bit more background that, when you start a garden, you have to have a strategy. You can't go into it willy-nilly. You can't go into it with background and instructions and understanding, because you will not yield any fruits or vegetables. You won't yield anything. I'm just so absolutely happy that I'm growing as a person. I'm absolutely happy that I've been delivered for so many things in my life. I'm absolutely happy because it didn't have to happen. It did not have to. He didn't have to deliver me. Everything that I've done and hit my head, most of it, where I was a nasty person, talked about people, drama, issue, all that toxicity, could have killed me a long time ago. I have chronic illness. I suffered in silence. I was toxic to a whole bunch of medication. I ended up being allergic to a lot of medication I probably was taking and didn't know it. I was allergic to all kinds of food that I didn't know it. So let me just tell y'all, I could have been dead years ago. I could have been dead yesterday, but God blessed me to still be here today. And so until the day I have my last breath, I will come on here and I will tell y'all the goodness and mercies of God and all of what He's done for me. I claim victory over my circumstances. I am grateful to God that I had the valleys, that I had the mountains, and I had the terrain, and I had the tornadoes, and I had the earthquakes. I value what I have right now. And I look back and I thank God, like, whoo, I'm so happy I got out of that one. Whoo, look at there. Look at that. Look at God. Whoo. He ordered my steps and I trusted and believed Him. I didn't used to, but I trust and believe God. He's amazing. So as I'm, going to look at these seasons, and I'm thinking about this topic, and I'm like, man, I moved to Florida and I started a garden and didn't even have a plan. I didn't know what I was doing. I came from Kansas City where we were in zone B, 6B, I believe, which is different than Florida, 9B. I bought all the supplies and everything. I got prepared and I started sowing the seeds and putting them in the ground and watering them. And it was like in the middle of almost the summer sometime. I didn't know Florida, how the heat was. I didn't know what plants to plant during the summer, what to plant in the fall and the spring, or the winter. I didn't know what to plant. I didn't know what I needed to give it. Fertilizer, eggshells, coffee grounds. Oh, I could do this. Neem oil. Oh, I could do that. There's all these things that you can purchase and be prepared. You can go on the internet. When I was growing up many, many years ago, I didn't have the internet. I had to buy a book. I had to go to the library and go read about the things that I wanted to do for my garden in Kansas City, or some of the things that I had to do other things. We didn't have the internet. But I have the internet. Not only do I have the internet, I have Copilot on my phone. And I ask Copilot advice and questions all the time. Some of y'all use ChatGPT, but I use Copilot. It's with Microsoft. And I'm telling y'all, it's amazing. So you got to get prepared. You got to get some understanding under your belt. You may not get a book. Maybe you'll talk to somebody who's an avid gardener and they give you advice and you write it down. But you got to have resources. You got to find a plan. You just can't go into it willy-nilly, because you're going to end up spending a lot of money and a lot of dead plants. And some of those plants that lived will not yield any fruit. And just like in life, when you're planting seeds in people, you got to make sure you have a plan. You got to make sure that you have wisdom and that you see that person for who they really are before you start planting seeds and fertilizing it and buying all these things to yield fruit, fruit of friendship, fruit of love, fruit of family, fruit. And until you really study, get advice, go on the internet, ask Copilot, you'll continue to keep planting seeds of in people that are negative, toxic, hateful, that will withdraw from you. They will suck you dry. They will suck all you're a seed as well, and they will suck you dry until you have nothing but dry bones and you can't grow. And there's two memes that came to me, well, pictures that came to me. And I'm gonna see if I still have it on my phone. There's two that came to me, and they mean so much. I actually took a screenshot of both, and hopefully I can find it. But it just reminds me so much. Here it is, right here. So one of the memes, I didn't look at the other one, but I did find the second one, and it actually is a picture of some fruit in a bowl, and there's a rotten fruit on top of the good fruit. And then there's another peach next to it that is starting to rot right along with the other piece of fruit. And what the meme says, it says, if you take a piece of rotten fruit and place it beside a perfectly good fruit, what happens? The mold from the rotten fruit spreads over to the good fruit, and both end up in bad condition. So what happens when you surround yourself with people who do not build you up? Plant seeds. Well, you become just like them. Dead bones, dry bones. They suck you dry. We talk about spiritual vampires, people who suck you dry, and so I'm just telling you that what I pre-recorded is nothing what I'm talking about now. The whole thought process, I wasn't supposed to pre-record that. So I will be deleting that 20-minute pre-recorded video about planting seeds, because right now what I'm saying to you is raw. It's not written down. This is just what God put me on my heart. He is speaking through me to you. And he's just telling me that you have to invest in people that invest in you. You have to pour into people that pour into you. You have to deposit into people that deposit in you. So and you have to plant seeds in people who plant seeds into you. If it's always one-sided, where you're always giving, and sometimes it's not about the toxicity. It's about you depleting your energy and consistently giving to this person over here who don't appreciate it, to this person over here, they appreciate it, but they don't know how to give back. This person over here appreciates you and they pour into you as much as they can, but they don't have a lot. They have emotional trauma, but they really want to be better. Then you got this other person. So if you got 5 people that are taking away from you and you're openly giving that to them consistently all the time, you're depleting yourself. These people are not, they're not planting seeds into you. They're taking all of the seeds. They're taking all of your energy. They're taking all of your nutrients. They're taking all of the fertilizer. They're taking everything. Your sun, they're taking your light and pulling you into the darkness. Pulling you into the darkness. They are rotting fruit. And they're holding on to you so tight that you're rotting right along with them. You have to understand that birds of a feather flock together. You have to surround yourself with like-minded people, people that love you. And I'm going to tell you something that one of my best friends died last year. It was probably one of the worst years of my life in a long time. That woman, everybody's always saying, "Oh, you did so much for her. You did this for her. You took her here. You do that." But you know what? That might be. But she gave so much to me. So much to me. This little 4'11" hippie woman with white hair who's been through hell and back. She had stage 4 breast cancer. This woman had all kinds of problems. She had COPD. She was in the process of getting diagnosed with another cancer, and she had a heart condition. But she didn't die from none of that. She died from sepsis. A doctor messed up a cardiac cath, which caused her the artery not to close up. She got a hematoma that went all the way up to her shoulder. She had 47 staples in her arm, and they told me she was going to either lose her arm or die. That's what she died of. She didn't die from any of those things. She had so much life to live, and she wanted to live it. And when her boyfriend died, she didn't think she would be able to do it. And I moved in with her, and she added so much to my life. She gave me patience. She gave me understanding. She didn't judge me. She would listen and didn't judge me. She looked at me as a person, a human being, and treated me as such. I would be so frustrated sometimes because she was not the cleanest person in the world. But by the time she died, I was so much more understanding. And I know that I wasn't ready for a husband because I couldn't live with nobody. I hadn't only lived with my mother and my children. And so I lived with somebody for the first time in Florida here with Donna, lived with her. And man, that was hard for me because I'm OCD, have ADHD, I'm hyperactive, and she's calm, cool, and collected. She laid back. We are the total opposite in every way. I'm dark skinned black girl. She's white woman, 4'11". We were total opposites of each other. People thought we were girlfriend. There is no way that y'all could be just friends. That was my sister. Could nobody talk about her. If you talked about her, I wasn't having it. And the same for her. She wasn't having people mess with me. This woman had my back. She was my emergency contact and I was hers. She planted seeds in me and pour into me. She loved on me. She appreciated me. We only had 2 arguments. The first one was when I first moved in because she wouldn't go to the hospital. When I first came back from Kansas City, I came in and she wasn't well. And I said, "Are you going to the hospital?" And she said, "No, I hadn't even got all my stuff out the car." We got in that argument. And the last argument was, "I give up. I'm just sick of this. I'm tired." And we argued and said, "If you give up, I give up." We argued about her giving up on her life, and she died a few days later. I didn't want her to leave me by myself again. I lost everything. But it wasn't about that. Now that I realize it, I look back. I drove to Kansas City 2 weeks after she died. I tried to put as much stuff in storage as I could, but I had just been in the hospital and I didn't feel well. And I didn't have anybody to help me, so I lost a lot of my stuff. I went to Kansas City and my family put their loving arms around me and they poured into my spirit and they planted seeds. For 30 days, I was there. They hugged on me. I had a skating party for my birthday. Everybody kept coming over to the house and we would have stuff going on. My niece would come over. My sons were there. We actually even went out during the weekday, which y'all know I don't do the weekday stuff. I'm a weekend girl and I get up early in the morning and I still worked. With all of this going on, I was still working. I did not take off but a couple of days. I think one day when she died, maybe two. I want to thank Miss Mary because she let me stay at her house for 2 weeks to get prepared to go to Kansas City, to go to a conference in Florida. Her and her husband opened their home to me and they treat me just like that was their family. Miss Mary and Mr. opened their arms and put their arms around me and loved on me and they poured into me and they poured into my spirit. They planted seeds in me of love and care. You know, the devil will get in your head and he'll try to make you think that, these people, don't be asking them to come stay. They don't want you staying with them. Oh, you go home, you're going to be this and this and that. The devil will get in your mind and try to change your mindset, make you think things that are not true. But God ordered my steps. I had a nervous breakdown, I will say that, but I overcame it. And this place was the first place I moved to after I came back to Florida, sight unseen. I don't like Newport Richie, but it was a good place for me to land. It's safe. Um, it's just me, but I feel safe coming in, and it's a good area. It's just boring. I don't have any friends here. I don't have anybody to hang out with. There's not a lot of people that look like me that lives here. There's nothing to do. I have been mistreated in this area already when I first moved here by three people. I can't. And when I say mistreated, I mean um, discriminated against. They didn't harm me, but it's just the fact of some of the things that they said. It's like they never been around black people before and they, inappropriate things that they say and then try to justify the behavior. But anyway, off of that. So I'm grateful. I was so happy in Kansas City. I had some challenges with my mom, but we overcame them. We had so much fun while I was there for 30 days. And I'm thankful and grateful for having Donna in my life. And I'm grateful she felt comfortable enough calling me when her boyfriend died. Planted seeds in me. I planted seeds in her. She was my moderator on YouTube. That's how we met. We met on YouTube under different circumstances. I met a lady. We fell out. Donna was my moderator. She stayed with me. And a lot of other people came with me and became my friends and my confidants. Like Kelly, that's on my page. And I'm telling you, I'm just so grateful. I'm smiling right now and I'm grateful. So the seeds that are being planted in my life are ones that I will cherish for the rest of my life. In the beginning of my life, when I didn't have the wisdom that I have now, the relationships that I poured into and planted seeds over and over and over, those people did not do the same for me. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be loved. I wanted people to stop judging me by my illness. I was frustrated. I didn't feel supported. I was emotional. I was mad at God. I gave up on God. I gave up on support. I was mad at everybody. I was angry. I was pissed at everything. It wasn't fair. I was mad at God because it wasn't fair. Why did I get all this stuff and they don't even know what's wrong with me? And I'm taking all this medication and I can barely work and I'm off work 3 to 4 or 5 days a month. But what I realized is I had gave so much of myself away to people that did not deserve it. I was mentally, emotionally, spiritually exhausted and physically exhausted due to the several illnesses I have, all the medication that was causing me toxicity, the sensitivity that it was causing because some of the medicine was causing so much sensitivity because I was allergic to it and didn't know it. And I was having hives all the time and didn't know what was causing the hives, but it was causing all kind of problems in my life. or I had such a deficiency in my body because I have a connective tissue disorder that causes me to have deficiency of um, my muscles, my tissues, my cartilage, my brain, every kind of organ you could think of. I have a deficiency in that because of the connective tissue disorder. I had a hysterectomy at 35, and I've had a brain surgery at 41, and I have a lot of issues. My menstruals are messed up. I had all kinds of problems with my eyes and my ears. I have all kinds of issues with my stomach. Every single joint in my body hurt all the time. My fingers hurt all the time. I have a neck pain that I've had for years and years that never went away. And so, having a connective tissue disorder, I had headaches all the time as well. And so, having these deficiencies, I had behavioral problems, I had learning disabilities. And I say had, but have learning disabilities. My vitamin D was non existent. I am anemic all the time. It doesn't matter if I take something or not. These were when I was younger. So the deficiencies are better now because I am doing different things that are stopping me from being deficient, but I still have issues. I've been borderline diabetic since I was in my 20s or something. Cholesterol, borderline cholesterol, ever since I was younger. My blood pressures have been high since I can remember, and I'm just now at a place where I found something that helps me because last year I thought I was going to die. My blood pressure was so high, and it was always high, super high, because I have intracranial hypertension. But my blood pressures were so high, I thought I was going to die because every medicine that we tried, I was allergic to it. It gave me anaphylaxis. It gave me hives. I was in the hospital several times, and so going into the hospital was what saved my life because the doctor gave me a clonidine patch, which I had never heard of. And even though she gave it to me, it still wasn't enough. It was a good start to know that there were patches. So me and my doctor started raising the dosage. I'm in a good dose right now. I'm at I take it I have it once a week. I take it off, put another one on. I don't have to take a pill. And so technically right now I'm taking, I guess, two pills as needed. And both of them are for, I have one that's for hives. And then the other one is for my stomach, for the antihistamines and to settle my stomach. And so those are the only two things I'm taking. But when I was younger, years ago, I got up to 25 medications. I was so toxic, and I can tell the rest of my story next week if you want. I've told it many, many times. If you're interested, let me know. If you got this far on this video, on this live stream, let me know if you want me um, to tell the rest of the story again. I can recap, I can refresh, it's okay. But let me just tell y'all, planting seeds are important, but planting seeds in yourself. Do you know that we plant seeds of doubt, but we can plant seeds of positivity or affirmations? You can plant seeds of negativity into yourself, insecurities into yourself, but you can also plant seeds of security. So when you plant seeds, you're manifesting. You're telling yourself, hey, I am specially made in God. I am beautiful. I can do this. I will do this. It's not a hope, maybe. It's not a hope, possibly. You're giving yourself room to fail. So do not give yourself room to fail. Speak into yourself what you want your life to be. And eventually you hear it and God hears it. And you meet together. And He will order your steps. And He will show you how to keep going. And I really think I want to talk about this more next week about planting seeds next week. I don't think I got enough time because it's time for me to go. And I'm thankful and grateful for y'all being here. So I think next week we're going to talk about planting seeds again. It's important. So I want to thank you all for being here. for supporting my podcast, for supporting Michelle Bradford, the holistic motivator, for supporting all of the things I've been through, probably way a lot more than some people, but it's not more important than what you've been through. We all been through something. We all been through something, and we all are amazing. We're just perfectly imperfect. I want to thank you again. God bless you. And I hope that you have an amazing, wonderful night. And I wish you a wonderful and amazing Monday. Please come back and see me again next week, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Michelle Bradford, Real Conversations, Real Motivations, and I am out.